I'm going to go ahead and get started. Good morning. Thank you, Tawana. Good morning, Dorothy. Thank you all for tuning in. Well, my clock says that it is 10 o'clock. So guess what? It is time to get started with Financial Fair Friday. Thank you all for joining us. I'm trying to get this music to play, y'all. I don't know what's going on. There we go. Let's move, everybody. Well, it went and it started and it left. Well, this is Financial Fair Fridays, everyone. Rita will be jumping on. She has a class today, so I'm going to be here basically going through this alone today until my partner jumps on. I'm Darlene Jenkins. Thank you so much for joining us again for another Financial Fair Friday. Welcome everyone on Facebook. If you could just real quick check in and let me know where you are watching us from, whether you're live on the broadcast here or if you are on Facebook. If you could just jump on real quick and let us know. I want to give a shout out to our other partner that's on Facebook, that's there, that gets people on this webinar every week, Miss Javon Walker. So thank you, Javon. That's our partner holding us down in Baltimore. We also have our other partner on the line, Robert Bailey, that's at our, that handles our office, keeps everything going there. So if you could just check in and let me know where you are watching us from, that would be great. But we're going to go ahead and get started because I know your time is valuable, our time is valuable, and we want to get you this information. So this is Financial Fair Fridays, where every Friday at 10 a.m. we're broadcasting live online as well as simultaneously on Facebook Live. What we're doing is we're pulling back the curtain so that you can get an in-depth understanding of not only your federal benefits. Even if you're not in the government, we also go over some of the best retirement investment options for you. You can let your friends, family, and coworkers know that they can register at www.ritabrollingevents.com. Of course, they can always go on Facebook and like our page, Your AB Solutions. So please invite people, get the word out. Don't keep us a secret. So let's go on. The whole purpose is that we just want you to understand your benefits, your money, your spending habits. All of that is tied to who you are, your personality. And what we at Affordable Benefit Solutions are trying to do is we want to support and offer you solutions that will enable you to reach your financial destination, whether it's coming this year, next year, or even if it's 20 years down the road. That's what we're here to do, to help you meet you where you are. So this is March, and our theme for March is that we're marching on to financial freedom. Today, we're going to be looking a little closer at those that have been in the government a little longer under the civil service retirement system. And so we ask you, have I overstayed my welcome? Is it time for me to retire? We're going over the civil service retirement system as well as the offset and some of the special groups. So let's just dive right into it. The civil service retirement system, these are people that were hired into the federal government and the DC government before 1984, and they did not elect to switch systems when it was offered to them during open season in July of 87, and then they extended it through June of 1988. So these are the people that stayed put. I'm going to stay under the old retirement system. Offset. These are employees, both federal employees and postal employees, that were under the civil service system, the first retirement system, but then they left the government and they were gone for at least 1 year. And when they came back, the FERS system, federally employee retirement system, was in place. And so when they came back, they were automatically covered by Social Security if they came back after 1983. And if they had less than 5 years of service under the civil service retirement system. So when they came back and started working, they became an offset employee, civil service offset employee, because now they pay both Social Security and they pay into a retirement system as well. And if you have any questions, please just pop them right in and I'll, get right to you. So now, what are you actually paying for towards your retirement? Well, as you can see right here on the screen, if you're under the civil service retirement system, you pay 7% towards your retirement annuity. You're paying 1.45% towards your Medicare. You all don't pay anything into Social Security through the government. Now, if you work part-time or you're working part-time right now, then yes, you are paying Social Security outside of your full-time job. So all total towards your retirement benefits, you are paying 8.45%. Now, if you're offset, you can see you're paying a little differently. Your payment towards your retirement, it mirrors the FERS retirement system. So towards your annuity, you're paying 0.8%. You pay 1.45% towards Medicare. All employees, that's what they pay, 1.45% towards their Medicare benefits. Then you pay 6.2% into Social Security. So unlike the civil service employees, you are paying into Social Security if you are an offset employee. So you pay 6.2% towards Social Security for a total of 8.45%. So both of you, civil service and offset, you are paying 8.45% into your retirement system. Now, if you're a law enforcement or firefighter, excuse me, under the civil service system, you pay in 7.5%. But if you are under the offset, you are paying in 1.3%. But then when they had the new change where they increased what the FERS employees, anyone hired after 2012, now you're paying in 3.6%. Offset, not the civil service. Because remember, your system, offset, is mirroring the FERS retirement system. Let's get to the TSP. Under the civil service system, the IRS deferral limit for everyone, whether you're in the government or you're working in private industry, they only allow you to put in $18,500 per year. If you're over age 50, you can do the catch-up contribution of $6,000. Now, as you can see here on the screen, you don't have any matching contribution at all. Okay, Victoria, let me see what's going on. Did you send me a chat? You have your hand raised, and I want to, do you have a question? Just, shoot me a question and let me know, what's going on with you. Welcome, Jeannie. I'm glad you could make it on. So just Victoria, send me your question, type it in the chat box or send it as a question so I can answer it for you. So, wouldn't be a fair Friday without some sort of technical difficulty. So now, what does it take in order for you to retire? Under the civil service system, you can retire at age 62 with 5 years of service, 60 with 20 years of service. But of course, everyone under the civil service system knows I can go when I have 30 years of service and I'm age 55. You already know that. So if you're under the air traffic control or the firefighter, some of those special provisions, you can go at any age if you have 25 years of service or at age 50 with 20 years of service. So if your job offers you an early out and you're under the civil service retirement system, again, any age with 25 years, hey, you can go ahead and go. If you're age 50 with 20 years of service, you're also eligible for the early out. But as we have right here, please keep in mind that every year that you're under age 55, which is your full retirement age, you're penalized 2% per year that you're under age 55. So if you're 50 with 20 years of service and you take that early out, you're going to have a 10% penalty tacked on to your retirement. So your annuity is going to be reduced 10%. Okay? So as we go here, now I wanted to put this up for the sick leave because some employees, as you know, your sick leave can be converted to give you extra years towards your retirement. So if you see here on the screen and we look at this employee here, and they have 1,467 hours of sick leave. That's a lot of sick leave, y'all. When I worked in the government, well, I'm not even going to get there, but 1,467 hours of sick leave. I know a lot of you may have that out there, and you may have more. So the good news is this 1,467 hours here of sick leave, that will convert for you into 8 months and 13 days, 8 months and 13 days that you can get tacked onto your onto your years of service. Now, this is a quick question right here. And I want you, if you know the answer, to type it in. So you have 8 months and 13 days that will go towards your retirement service. If you are working right now and you have in 29 years and 4 months, can you use this 8 months and 13 days worth of service that's going to be converted to your retirement to go ahead and retire? Can you use this sick leave to get you across the retirement finish line? Type in your answer real quick. If you're on Facebook, let me know. Javon, help me out and let me know what they're saying on Facebook. So you have this hours. The question is, can you use these hours to get you to your retirement? Can you use it? Can you use it? Let's see. Tawana said no, you cannot use it. Anyone else? Well, Tawana is absolutely correct. You cannot use that sick leave. And see, Tawana, she attended one of our workshops. We've spoken with her, so she's well informed. That's right. You have to get in your actual years of service. You have to meet the retirement requirements in order for you to retire. And then this 8 months and 13 days will be added to that. So you would have 30 years, 8 months, and 13 days towards your retirement. Okay, let's see here. And I don't know why my computer, so what about your annual leave? What happens with your annual leave, Dorothy, is that you get paid out your annual leave. So if you have 1,000 hours towards your annual leave, you will be paid at your current rate of pay towards for your annual leave. So you receive that in a separate check. Only your sick leave is counted towards your retirement time. So now if you're under the offset system, how is your annuity calculated? Basically, what's going to happen is that the Social Security Administration, they're going to take your federal earnings, meaning the time you were in the government and when you were covered by both the Social Security and the CSRS, and then they're going to compute it using the time that you have Social Security included and then the time when you don't have it included. Then they send both of those amounts to OPM so that OPM can determine what your offset amount is going to be. Then they look at, now once they get that amount, your offset check is going to be reduced by the portion of your total Social Security benefit that was payable during the time of service after 1983, while you were covered under both the civil service and the Social Security system. And if you're an offset employee, I invite you to please contact Rita and I, because you figuring out the offset, it's more complicated. It's not as straightforward because you have the Social Security component as the regular civil service, calculations are. But please know we are here for you and we will help you with this. Just give us a call. Now, the way the reduction, when they do your offset, they're going to take the lesser of, these are the two formulas. And again, I put it up here, but when we sit down with you, we can plug in your numbers so you can see. And as you can see, it's very convoluted. But yet at the same time, once you know how it works, it can be very simple. So as it says here, we're going to take the difference between your Social Security monthly benefit with and without your offset service, meaning any time that you work after 1983. and you were covered both under civil service and under the offset system. Or they're going to use this formula. Just these are the words, but this is the formula here. They're going to take your Social Security benefit, and then they're going to multiply by the number of years that you were under the offset system and divide that by 40. And whichever of these two calculations are the lower, that's what they take away from your civil service annuity. Not your Social Security, from your civil service annuity that you're getting from OPM. So again, give us a call. You sit down with us. We'll go over all of that with you. So now, how's your civil service annuity calculated? This is an example. If you're earning $85,000 a year and you're having 32 years of service, this is the formula here. We're going to take 1.5% of the first 5 years of your high 3 average. Then for years 5 through 10, they take 1.75%. And for anything over 10 years, they give you, they're crediting you 2% of your high 3 average. And so here you go. When you do the whole formula, this comes out to your annuity, it's $52,000. But that's a lot. Or on a monthly basis, $43.73. But you know, we wouldn't just leave you like that. And then this is the monthly amount here. So of course, we have a shortcut for you. If you work 30 years, all of that comes out to, if you look at the chart here on the left, 30 years of service is equal to 56.25% of your pay. So if you were earning $80,000 a year, 56.25% is $45,000 a year, or $3,750 a month. Every year that you work over 30 years, you get an extra 2%. So every year over 30, you're getting another 2%. So if you work 35 years, which many of you right now, if you're under the civil service system, you have that or more. Okay, so you are now at 66.25% of your pay. So now, what does that mean in terms of dollars and cents for your retirement income? So here you are, like I said, with the 30 years of service, $37.50 a month. But if you're married and you can leave your spouse upon your death a survivor benefit. And if you do that and you have 30 years of service, and this is you, and many of you on here, you may be making more than this. Okay, so we're just giving an example here. So now you have $300 in order to leave your spouse a benefit. They would get 55% of this amount here, the $37.50. They would be entitled to 55% of your full benefit. So to give them this 55%, they have to take out $352 a month. To do that, which will now bring your check down to $3,398 a month. Now, we can also look at for you, there's so many different things we can help you with. We also can show you how to do a pension max, because this right here, survivor annuity premium, this is basically taking $352 a month out of your retirement check to buy a benefit that is going to leave your spouse a check. Why don't we look at, hey, what can I better do that right now to give them a bigger benefit? I can have a larger check at retirement. That's pension maximization. Call us and we can go over that with you. There's a lot of different things we can help you with in terms of having the retirement that you want to have, where it's a win-win for you and for your spouse. So now, you've been working, you're under the civil service system. Many of you, what we sit down and do with you is let's look at your income replacement. You're working because most employees, they look at, oh, I'm making $100,000 a year. If I retire, I know I'm going to be getting something less. I can't live on that. I'm living on $100,000 a year. No, you're not. So what we do when you sit down with us, we will come up with your income replacement. And this is how we do it. This is the calculation. You're not living off of 100% of your pay right now. If you're in this example we're using, if you're earning $80,000 a year, remember you have 1.45% coming out for your Medicare. Then you have 7% coming out for your retirement. And if you're contributing to the TSP, that's another. If you're just doing the 5%, some of you are doing more than that. This is the minimum amount that's coming out. That's 13.45% or $10,760 that's coming out of your check that you never ever see. You don't get to spend that. So guess what? Your real income that you're living off of is $69,240. So when we take that into consideration, now here I did a person having 35 years of service, because if you're under the civil service system, that's about where you are right now at 35 years of service. So at 35 years, and if you're making more and you're putting more into the TSP, these are just the bare minimums. Your numbers are going to be a lot higher. So you could be at work, coming to work for a lot less than what you're earning 100,000, but you're really only coming to work for 5% or maybe less of your income. So let's look at this. This employee here, $80,000 a year. They have in 35 years. Your income based on how many years you've worked already, the percentage you're getting, 66.25% of your pay. In retirement, you're going to be receiving $53,000 a year. Remember, your income replacement, the amount that you're actually living on, is $69,000 a year. You're already at 76.5% of your replacement income. Now, if you take into consideration, if you have a TSP, you have other investments, now you have pools of income that we can show you how to turn that income into the 25% or less. Because if you're doing more, then you don't need as much. Now, maybe this is a good time for you to look at, why am I really still here? Do I really need to stay? Sometimes in our minds, we're thinking we need one thing, but when we put it down and start putting together our plan, we see, oh, I didn't realize that. So I have some questions for you. How many years before you're actually eligible to retire? If you're under the civil service retirement system, you're there. Some of you out here, you probably have the years, but you may not have the age. So you're going to do 35 plus years. And if you are eligible to retire now, does your budget tell you that you can retire now? Can you afford to retire now? Do you have a budget set up so that the budget can guide you? You have to have a budget. You won't know when you decide, hey, we're going to go on a trip. We're going down to Disney World. If you don't know the directions to get there, you can't just get on going 95 north when you really need to be going 95 south. You have to have some directions. So, am I prepared for the potentially higher healthcare costs in retirement? This budget of 2019, the proposed budget, which looks like it's going to get passed and pushed through, the healthcare costs, the government is not going to be paying as much towards your healthcare costs. Also, if you develop health problems in retirement, will your money last you through that situation? Are you prepared? How would your lifestyle and your income be impacted if your health worsens during retirement? Remember, if you don't have an income plan and the what ifs in life comes up, what is your plan? What are you going to do? Will I have enough money to last me 30, 40 years in retirement? See, most people, you will spend just as much time retired as you did working. We're living longer. Now, the largest growing segment of the population are centenarians, people over 100. So you just look at your age right now. See, 60 is the new 40. You're just getting started. 60-year-olds today don't look like the 60-year-olds when I was a little girl, because I thought they were a lot older than they were. I don't know about you, but are you going to have enough money to last you? And more importantly, why haven't I called Darlene and Rita yet? Pick up the phone, give us a call. We are here for you. Planning is just bringing the future into the present right now so you can do something about it. Do something about it now. We've laid out what can happen. Are you prepared? Let us help you chart your future. So what's going to be right for you? It depends. Everyone on here is different. Everyone has a different situation, different years of service. But I do know this. We can help you put together a plan to address any situation so you can move forward with the type of retirement that you want. So, coming up next month, what's up next? We're still marching towards financial freedom. And guess what? Medicare. We're going to be talking about Medicare. And whether you're 40, 50, 60, or 70, you need to understand the ABCs of Medicare. So we're going to be going over Medicare 101 and breaking all of that down. So as I said before, let us help you chart your course. This is our information. Thank you so much for joining us. I thought Rita would be able to jump on with us. So please, if you talk to Rita, let her know how I did. I hope I did pretty good for you all today. Thank you so much, Facebook, for joining us. Meet us back here next Friday at 10 a.m. Javon, thank you so much for holding us down on Facebook. Thank you, everyone, for joining us. Next week, 10 a.m., I'm going to meet you here. And when you come, bring two. Let people know about us. Don't keep us a secret. I look forward to seeing you all next week on the broadcast. Take care, everyone. Thank you. Uh-oh.